We are live. What's up, y'all? What's up? Mike is Uncut Podcast pop up live. It is 9:50 a.m. I'm getting on a late start because I normally be in the gym early, but I have some stuff I gotta do, working on some things, a lot of things, y'all. I'm excited about, especially going to next year. Hope everybody's doing good. But we talking about building wealth and pretty much, man, like how we move as a society, because a lot of people out here struggling. I know we hear that a lot. And yeah, so who's to blame for that? And I wanted to I'm gonna play an audio, and then I'm gonna read some data, stats, and all that good stuff. And we're gonna get right into it. And yeah, let's go.
What if having a job is no longer enough to survive? Across the United States, millions of people are working, earning, and still falling behind. Not because they stopped trying, but because the cost of simply existing is rising faster than they can keep up. Rent, food, transportation, healthcare, everything is getting more expensive. Poverty used to be associated with joblessness, but today, that definition is changing. And in 2026, a quiet crisis is unfolding. Poverty is no longer just about unemployment, it's about affordability. More people are working full time, yet struggling to cover basic needs. This is the rise of the working poor. In the United States, wages have increased in some sectors, but not fast enough to match the surge in living costs, which creates a dangerous gap. Income is rising slowly, expenses are rising rapidly, and that gap is where millions are falling through. If there is one cost driving this crisis more than anything else, it's housing. Rent prices have surged across major cities and even smaller towns. Homeownership is becoming increasingly out of reach. For many households, housing alone now consumes 30%, 40%, even 50% of total income. That leaves very little for everything else. And once housing costs rise beyond a certain point, financial stability becomes impossible. People begin to cut back on essentials or take on debt just to.
And I'm gonna stop right there for a minute. Yeah, man. People, and that's what I'm saying pretty much. Um, What I'm saying, well, I know the title saying building wealth, but I'm just getting to the problem of why people can't build wealth, because a lot of people, first of all, okay, yeah, you need money to survive, to pay your rent, your groceries, you got kids, take care of your family and all that, right? But I just want to make this kind of simple for y'all. I'm not a financial specialist or guru and none of that, y'all. I'm not, don't listen to me. I'm just giving my opinion. My thing is this: it starts off in the beginning, pretty much how you was raised. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us, unfortunately, a lot of us, we wasn't born with a silver spoon in our mouth. So, and then a lot of times, a lot of our parents wasn't educated when it comes to business and stuff like that. Um, a lot of us, our parents had skills. Like I grew up, my father, was a builder. He built houses, bridges, stuff like that, roads, dealing in construction. You know, it just went in his, it wasn't in his character to be a businessman. You feel me? So the thing is, somebody probably could have been in the family, could have told him, like, you got a skill, man. You can make money from this. You can build generational wealth from this. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't the case. I'm just using that for example, because in that time I know a lot from my father and other men I knew in the community, they was doing the similar thing. You can look, man, you make a lot of money. Contractors, builders, masonry, welders, plumbers, electricians. Them jobs will never go away, y'all. But the point I'm trying to make is this: it starts at home. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, like, we do have entrepreneurs in the family. But the thing is, the point I'm really trying to make, because I want to be all over the place with it, is you gotta have a vision, y'all. You gotta have a vision. Everybody can have a vision. Pretty much if you capable of. Some people, I know some people have learning disabilities and stuff like that, but the average person, sit down, jot down, okay, this is what I really want to do. I've been seeing a lot of videos too, the AI videos, like people who are here struggling. These AI videos, they like it's mostly like black families. My girl sent me a lot of these videos. I love them, man, because they were like, one guy, he was embarrassed because he was driving an old car. You know, he was struggling. You know, his son was embarrassed, and dude was couldn't pay his bills. You know what I'm saying? His marriage was going down, and somebody came up to him like, "Look, try this app right here because it shows you how the stuff you doing for free, how you can make money from it." So the guy got the app, looked at it, boom. He came up, started making money, started, you know what I'm saying? So the point I'm trying to make is this. It's a lot of tools out there, y'all, for us. We're in the information age now. It's no reason for nobody to be out here really broke. I'm not rich, but I'm trying to I'm getting to that. I'm setting myself up. I started late. I'm a late bloomer, but it don't matter, y'all. It's never too late to invest in yourself. It's never too late to learn about the stock market. It's never too late to learn about stocks, ETFs, bonds, you know, CDs, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, but my thing is this: I hear a lot of people complaining. You know, people be at work, man, I hate this job. Man, I can't get nowhere in life. Okay, so who's to blame? It's you. Listen, we live in the information age. Start researching, y'all. Start researching. So let me play some more of this. I just want to throw that out there real quick, and then we're gonna get back into it and we're gonna break it down.
Stay afloat. Housing is just the beginning. There are other costs that are rising quietly but consistently: electricity, water, internet, transportation. Much of this infrastructure has become increasingly expensive to maintain and operate. And in many cases, costs are passed directly to consumers. These are not optional expenses, they are essential for modern life, which means people cannot cut them out. They can only absorb the cost.
Facts.
And for many, that cost is becoming unbearable. Then comes the daily reality: groceries, fuel, healthcare. Prices in these categories have been rising steadily. And unlike luxury spending, these are non negotiable. You cannot choose not to eat. You cannot ignore medical needs forever. You cannot stop commuting to work. So households are forced into difficult decisions: pay rent or pay for healthcare, buy food or pay utilities.
Start that real quick. And this is another thing too, y'all. He's right. You got to put gas in your car. You'll figure it out. You got to cut back on some things. Another thing, far as healthcare, yes, you get a broken bone, stuff like that. You get severely injured. You got to go to the doctor. You need insurance. I understand that. But far as your health, you can decide to change your diet. Go work out. Even if you can't afford to go to the gym, walk in the park, work out from home. Take care of your body, y'all. Listen, I'm telling you, the the country will be better, especially when it comes to insurance, because these insurance companies are hitting people in the head. But if you're a healthy person, you don't have to worry about those type of expenses. You know what I'm saying? Just want to throw that bug in your ear. I know most people ain't gonna want to hear that, but it's just facts. We're almost done with this.
Bills. This is the real phase of the cost of living crisis. Not dramatic collapse, but constant pressure. This is not just about inflation, it is about structure. For years, the system was built on low-cost borrowing, stable supply chains, and predictable pricing. But those conditions are changing. Now we are seeing higher interest rates and more expensive housing development, increased service costs, and greater economic uncertainty. The system is adjusting, but people are absorbing the shock. And that adjustment is pushing more households toward financial instability. The most alarming part of this crisis is who it is affecting. Not just low-income households, but the middle class. People who once felt financially secure are now struggling to save and living paycheck to paycheck, delaying major life decisions. This is not just a poverty issue, it is a stability issue. Because when the middle class weakens, the entire economy becomes more fragile. If current trends continue, we may see increased inequality and slower economic growth, greater financial stress across households. But there is also a larger shift happening. People are rethinking where they live, how they work, and what they can afford. The cost of living crisis is not just changing finances, it is changing lifestyles, and potentially the future structure of the economy itself. The United States has long been seen as a place of opportunity. But in 2026, that opportunity is being tested. Because when the cost of living rises faster than the ability to earn, survival itself becomes a challenge. This is not just about poverty, it is about affordability and whether the system can still support the people inside it. Subscribe to Global Briefing.
Yeah, and we'll get all that. But yeah, good information, y'all. So listen, this another thing too. Inflation. You can have money, but remember inflation, gas up. Like I said, you figured out I got a system how I do everything. You gotta set a budget. You gotta make sure, okay, this is what this going to this week, this going to this. You know what I'm saying? I kind of budget for the month. I would advise some people to do that. Like when we eat, like I told you, we cook sometime for 2 to 3 days. That's another small way of saving money. But building wealth, y'all, it starts from discipline. You wonder why a lot of these wealthy people have so much money and so much assets because they are disciplined. They don't get caught up. Listen, of course, if you make more money, you're gonna spend more. But you gotta be like, this is how I live now, y'all. I've been living like this for a minute. And sometimes I slip because I'm human. Get what you need, not what you want. Well, buy what you need, not what you want. Because let me tell you, you go on Amazon, you be like, damn, I want this, I want that. Amazon had on good prices, but do you need that or do you want that? A lot of us will go broke. You be surprised. Let me tell y'all something. You on this phone right here, and you look scrolling and you seeing stuff you want to buy, anything, you know your budget. You got to stay within your budget, y'all. You got to stay within your budget. If you're gonna be broke. That's just the way it is. You're never gonna build any wealth. You gotta be disciplined. So pull this up real quick. Now, this is the thing. I was crunching some numbers last week, and I was like, about how these taxes and stuff work. A lot of taxes we pay. The taxes go to a lot of the same thing, a lot of infrastructure. And the one thing I just don't understand is this: property taxes and grocery taxes and other taxes go. I'm my ancient model go to infrastructure, go to other things too. But if a lot of that go to infrastructure, I've been around almost 51 years. That'll be next month. And I can tell you right now, since I was a kid, I can go to certain neighborhoods. Now I'm going to be 51. Just add the numbers up, the years. Some of these neighborhoods still have busted up roads, potholes, sidewalks that need to be replaced since the 80s and 90s. Unless only time they come fix them up from the gentrified area. I'm just saying, if the tax dollars are going toward, that's part of infrastructure, right? Just a food for thought. So check this out, y'all. The federal minimum wage in the United States has been $7.25 per hour since July 2009. The last time Congress raised it. Some types of labor are exempt. Employers may pay tip labor minimum of $2.13 per hour as long as the hourly wage plus tip income equals at the least of the minimum wage. That's BS, y'all. You mean to tell me the last time they gave us a minimum wage increase in our wages was 2009? That's crazy, y'all. Who the hell can live off $7.25 in 2026? I'm just saying. Yeah, man. I'm gonna leave that right there. And we're gonna do this real quick. Hold on, y'all. This is the last thing. And this is it right here. Check this out. In the United States, approximately 35.9 million people, about 10.6% of the population live below the poverty line. Let me read it again. In the United States, approximately 35.9 million people, about 10.6% of the population live below the poverty line. The poverty threshold is based on pre-tax cash income and varies by family size. For reference, the threshold used to determine these figures was like $31,812 for a family of 4. To get clearer picture of the poverty across the country, 2 main measurements are used. Official poverty measure OPM shows 35.9 million people living below the poverty threshold. Supplemental poverty measures SPM account for geographic differences, taxes, and necessary expenses like medical costs and childcare. The estimate S&P rate is slightly higher at 12.9%. For more local data and deeper look into the economic status of specific communities, you can review notices on poverty report. But the point is this, y'all. Most people live below their mean. if you ask people, they have any kind of investment, how your portfolio looking, they're gonna look at you crazy. What the hell is a portfolio? What the hell is a S&P? What what is a ETF? You know what I'm saying? What is it in CD? All that. They don't know the basic stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody want it now. The thing about when I say building wealth, you building wealth for the future because one day you're gonna get old. You can't work all your life. Something happened, your health decline, you screwed. You might lose your limbs, you might lose both your legs, and you can't work. You gotta think about these things, y'all. We can't continue this cycle. People just working in this country. Everybody can't be rich. I get that. Everybody can't. It's not even designed that way, but you can live comfortable, you know what I'm saying, to the point of, okay, I'm debt free. You're gonna have some form of debt, but if you don't, credit card, I tell everybody, pay your credit cards off. If you can buy a car cash, do that. You know what I'm saying? If you can cut down your mortgage from 30 to 15 years, do that. Don't go out here shopping every 2 weeks. Don't get your nails done every 2 weeks. That's your body, do what you want. That's your money, do what you want. You don't have to go out to eat every day or every other day. You know what I'm saying? Cook, like I said, cook for 2 to 3 days. You feel me? Stuff like that, man. Max out. If you can, if you got a 401k, max it. Try, take out as much as you can. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you get a certain age. Have an emergency fund. All wealthy, successful people always tell you to have an emergency fund. You got to have an emergency fund. And I'm working on that even more for myself. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Build your wealth while you're young. This goes out to the young people. If you 18 coming out of high school and you getting a job, first off, get you a career or get a skill set, learn a trade, start your business, invest in yourself, and go from that. Pass that on to your children. Break it down to them how this thing works. I'm not just leaving you this. You got to understand it takes. Listen, man, it's not easy being a business owner. You're going to have to put work in every day, every second, every minute. But if you want to be successful, you would do what you need to do. Discipline, lock in. Don't get what you need, not what you want. Buy what you need, not what you want. If you keep that philosophy, if you stick by that code, you'll be all right. That being said, y'all, I holler at y'all on the next one. I know I ain't been on. I just been doing a lot of stuff. And like I told y'all, there's not a lot of stuff to talk about. For as I'm not, you can go to my TikTok and I do my rants on politics, but mainly on here, I'm not too much doing that. I'm just trying to focus on helping people, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's too much BS going on social media and TV and all that, right? Let's talk about solutions, stuff that we can help each other. That being said, I'm out. Peace.